Hello and welcome to Geeks of the Round. I'm your host, Matt Moore, and we are here to discuss Watchdogs, episode 314 of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for watching. Let's introduce the panel. We'll start with Charles. Charles, what did you think of the episode?
I liked it, and I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Daisy she's a bit of a bitch this episode. Just a bit. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Lou? What did you think of the episode?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I literally just finished watching it 10 minutes before we started. But you should be happy, because they referenced Sokovia, Ultron.
Yes, they did.
Avengers. Everything you griped about a week ago.
They didn't reference Avengers specifically, but they did reference Ultron, and they did reference the city that was destroyed, and that made me happy because of the fact that they haven't really been doing that, and I think that they are gearing up for Civil War, and I think that they're going to start referencing these things more and more and more until Civil War comes out in May. So that's good. Yeah. And yeah, I think they're going to bring it in for the movie, and then as soon as one episode after the movie is over, they're not going to mention it again until the next movie. But we'll see. How many more episodes of this do we have? We have, what, 2 more months? Because it's, 22 episodes, and we're on 14, so 8 episodes, so yeah, 2 months. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to end right after the movie comes out. So yeah, they're probably going to do the same thing next season that they did this season, which is not mention the movies until like a movie forces it to.
The beginning of next season, literally, if they start in September, by October they'll start mentioning Doctor Strange.
That would be pretty cool. If they mention Doctor Strange, though, I think they're just going to barely mention it. Because they didn't mention, for example, they didn't mention Ant-Man.
They did, however, mention...
Ant-Man came out in July, so they had no reason to.
They mentioned the incident at PIM Industries.
They did?
Yeah, they did, yes. I think it was last season, and Fitz was still struggling with what happened to him with the whole... brain damage and all that, and Coulson was in the background, like standing at the lab that they have, and he had mentioned something to Fitz about the whole PIM incident, is what he said.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Darren Cross, Lang's House, Scott Lang, Yellow Hope. I don't see reference to it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I'm gonna take your word on it.
Yeah, there was. It happened around the middle of last season.
No need for them. Ant-Man still didn't. Well, Ant-Man already had. Ant-Man came out last summer.
Yeah, but here's my thing though: is we have one series of shows and movies, but mostly the shows, which don't have anything to do with each other other than being run by the same studio, DC. And they still find a way to cross them over. And that's The Flash and Supergirl. And it made for the best episode that Supergirl has had, even though Supergirl's been doing really well, and people are loving it. On the other side, we have Marvel, where these people literally live and work with each other and aren't acknowledging each other. Well, maybe not work with, side by side, but oftentimes they might even be fighting the same battles, fighting the same people, and they barely even mention them, and they don't mention them by name at all. The incident at PIM Industries doesn't actually mention Ant-Man. Mentioning Ultron was a big deal. That was a big deal because they named a name, but they didn't mention specifically the Avengers. They haven't named Thor since what's-his-face was on there, the short Asgardian from Ghostbusters. They don't mention names anymore. And it's really been upsetting. But they mentioned Ultron. That makes it better. I think they're going to do more and more of that as Civil War approaches, which will be cool. I think people on S.H.I.E.L.D. are going to start choosing sides. which I think is awesome, and I think that's what we're gearing up to in this episode. I think that Mac and Daisy are going to be on two very opposite sides.
So a civil war within S.H.I.E.L.D.
A civil war within S.H.I.E.L.D. Exactly. I'm thinking that that's what we're going towards.
Well, God damn it, I was kind of hoping to save this until speculation area, but with how Daisy had been acting this season, where she's basically been radical about her support for Inhumans, they should be like out and proud, so to speak, and like start flaunting their abilities like they just don't care. I'm beginning to think that in your whole civil war within S.H.I.E.L.D. theory is that Daisy is going to join sort of the Inhuman equivalent of the Watchdogs, where basically there's going to be a faction of radical Inhumans that maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. has her infiltrate and she goes native.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
The reason being is because of the fact that if you have a radical version of the Watchdogs and they're Inhumans, they are definitely going to be killing people. That's just going to be part of it. And Daisy does want to protect lives.
Okay.
That's my only problem with it, is Daisy's primary purpose is to protect lives. Now, I do find it kind of unusual in this, though, that she is getting more fascist, more Gestapo-like, to where she will just randomly grab someone off the street and torture them torture or scare them for information, and then on the side of the road. I think that is rather unusual considering her roots, which is as a hacktivist, fighting against such things.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do desperate things to get the info you need.
Yeah, but the thing I'm confused about is why did Fitz join her on her little Gestapo escapade?
Out of loyalty.
I
don't think that he's going to end up doing that again. I think that he saw enough and he's done. I don't think he's ever going to join her for something like that again. He wasn't going to question her in the field, but at the same time, he's not obligated to go back into the field with her unless ordered. So I don't think he's going to.
Okay.
That's my thought on it, because obviously he was very uncomfortable with the situation. But she was in charge. She was the field manager. I mean, if there is, Daisy is basically heading her own division of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like
orders.
Yeah, exactly, of the superheroes, and so I don't know. There was that storyline, and that storyline was pretty interesting, but something that I can't believe that I'm going to say is what I found even more interesting was, and I'm forgetting names, and of course I clicked off the page. Help me, pretty boy that Daisy is dating.
I don't. His name is Lincoln, and he was also a character in the TV show The Tomorrow People.
Yes, he was. Lincoln's story was actually pretty cool here too, because of course they assessed the fact that he's only there for Daisy, and so they did that, and so Coulson decided to test him, and I think the only way that I think Lincoln could have done better in that test. Apparently, he did rather well. I think he could have done better by refusing the order, completely and totally. Been like, no, I'm sorry, I don't care about this test. I'm not killing for you. I think he could have done better, but obviously he did quite well. What do you guys think?
Lou, what do you think?
Lincoln is Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I can't make something up. I kind of zoned out there for a second. I wasn't paying attention.
Fuck you! It was the second best story in this episode.
I mean, dude, Lincoln's there for Daisy because, you know, he had a connection with her mama, and they kind of started when he was training her somewhat back at that hidden temple. They were kind of feeling each other back then.
Mm-hmm.
So anything he's doing within S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically for her.
Yeah.
And the evaluation was right. So, I mean, Lincoln's only there for one thing. And her name and the name happens to be Skyquake.
Yeah, but the thing is kind of the evaluation was a little more than that. It was also about whether or not he could hold his temper in, or if he's going to go full aggro every time someone picks on him. And he didn't go full aggro, and heck, he even hesitated to attack in the first place. And I think that was what Coulson was looking for.
You see, Coulson was being a dick in a way, because let's be real, when he was fighting Lash was trying to kill him.
Lou, I gotta disagree with you there. I actually think that Coulson was doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing. I mean, he is in that situation. He's the commanding officer, so I think he has a right to be tough on his subordinate.
Shit, Coulson would have told me, "Don't speak to me unless I tell you to." I would have punched that motherfucker in the face.
I mean, you know what? That moment when they were on the Quinjet and Lincoln interrupted Coulson, is like, "Do not interrupt me ever," and I was like, "Okay." I was impressed by that.
I would have zapped his ass.
Oh fuck no. I am actually happy with Lincoln's response. I would have been. He just shut right up, and that was the
Screw that shit. I'll show you.
Never been part of the military. Like, this is a paramilitary type of situation. There are commanding officers, there are officers there, and there are non-rates. And he is basically a non-rate who was, like, interrupting the biggest, baddest fucking general in this organization. And you don't do that in a military organization. You don't. And if you do, expect bad things to happen. Like him telling Lincoln to not interrupt him, and he hasn't earned that right. First off, that gives hope that he will one day earn that right.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it shows Lincoln, you know what, I'm fucking in charge. Don't interrupt me. I'm talking.
Well,
I don't know.
I never joined the military, so fuck it. I would have zapped his ass.
Okay. And then you would have been kicked the fuck out.
Oh well, but so what? That's why I never joined, because I know my temper.
And then, of course, we had the main storyline, which I thought was a good storyline. I just really disliked the dude's brother, Mini Mac, as he was called.
Ruben?
I didn't like Mini Mac.
You didn't like Ruben?
Is that his name?
Ruben was just being Ruben.
He
was Ruben.
I don't like Mini Mac.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either.
You end up having Mac, of course, questioning his place in S.H.I.E.L.D. itself. He just had 2 friends leave. He's had to do some questionable things throughout the years. This is over a couple of years now. He's often had to be like, okay, do I really want to do this? Is it worth doing? And so he's on vacation questioning these things, and then he gets a call, and he's being asked to, give more of himself to S.H.I.E.L.D. Than he wants to give. And he's trying to spend time with his brother, who obviously he has a strained relationship in the first place. And, so I thought that particular storyline was really good, only lessened by the fact that his brother is a dick and an ignorant asshole. Now, of course, he stops being an ignorant asshole at the end of the day, but that didn't really say what had happened up to that point. I really liked his conversation with Guy. What's that?
His brother saved him, so he felt, he saw his brother in a different light.
Exactly. And then he had that conversation with Sky, which I thought was awesome, where he found out that that not only is his brother doing good, but his brother is good at doing good, and so he respects his brother a lot more now than he did before.
And watch his brother pay off the mortgage and all that other good shit.
Yeah, probably now he's going to ask Mac for money.
He ain't going to ask Mac for money because he's too proud to beg, but Mac will end up giving him the money to make sure they don't lose the house.
No, I think the best way to do that is just, hand Mac the house. Be like, here, it's your house now. Can I move in? Oh, look, my stuff's already here. Thanks. That way Mac has to pay the fucking mortgage. It's Mac's house then.
Because they ain't got no motorcycles no more.
They ain't got no more. Their motorcycles
Yeah.
are crispy.
Yeah, when that happened, I was like, no, not the bikes.
Daryl would have been pissed.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
I
about
didn't
to
mind
shoot
the
a
bikes. They
crossbow
look
bolt
kind
up
of
some
old.
motherfucker's ass.
What else do we want to talk about on this episode?
How about we bring up the reference to damage control?
There was a reference to damage control. I didn't catch it.
Yes.
Yes, when Daisy was speaking with the brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she say that some people were going to come clean things up?
Yeah.
She had mentioned something about why don't she like we're about to leave, damage control's about to take over, and you can come talk to us and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, she mentioned damage control, which means the damage control is not that far off.
Oh, so I'm wondering if damage control is damage control small d small c, as in a group that actually does damage control, or if damage control actually is superpowered beings who go around cleaning up superhero messes.
I think what it is it's the reference to that comedy show that they're going to do called Marvel's Damage Control.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because
I thought that you would know that.
I had heard that there was something going on with damage control, but that was so long ago that I heard that it didn't pop in my head when she said it.
Oh, okay.
This was the first episode I've been interested in watching in a very long time.
And according to the preview next week, we're going to get an even better episode.
That what?
According to the preview for next week's episode, we're going to get an even better episode.
That's pretty cool. It's about time that this show has picked up because it's been really lacking for this entire season. It should not take 14 episodes to be good.
See, that's where me and you differ. Because it was doing fine in the only episode that stumbled was the mid-season finale, and since then it's been kind of lackluster until last night's episode, and it's about time because they're getting ready to end the season. And when they get ready to end the season, that's when they start to ramp it back up.
Yeah.
Especially for a show that has around 22 episodes in the season that's filled with fillers.
Well, that's what you get when you have 22 episodes in a season.
Well, since it's an ABC show, there's no way in hell that they're going to dumb it down to 10 to 15 episodes. So just do what Once Upon a Time does.
Which is do every half season is a season, basically, is what they do.
Yeah, the first half of the season is one story arc, and then the second half is an entirely different story arc.
I would like that.
So,
I would actually love to see that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that show has no one big overarching arc for the whole season?
No, for the first half of the season, it's one arc, and then for the second half, it's an entirely different arc.
Yeah. Now, I mean,
there
are obviously elements that go from arc to arc.
Obviously,
but the big bad is generally different for each half season, yes. Mm-hmm. The current big bad is Hades.
Yep, Hades from the Hercules story, the Disney Hercules story.
Yeah, so he's got the blue hair and everything.
Yeah, and
fire hair and everything.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know it's off topic from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I have to bring this up since we're talking about Once Upon a Time now. Meganara, the love interest for Hercules, the episode that she was in, was god-awful. She was terrible.
Okay. I have watched every episode. It just didn't affect me one way or another. Do we have any wild speculation for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I already threw out my wild speculation, so I got nothing now.
So you busted your load early. I'm sure that that's the only time that's ever happened.
You know what? Shut up, Matt.
I was saying something nice about you.
About busting loads.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response.
Well, you're the one who busted your load, dude, not me.
God damn it.
Lou, do you have any wild speculation?
No. Not this week.
My wild speculation, as I mentioned before, is that we are going to get more and more crossover between the two. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a Civil War story going on within Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Daisy is going to be on Captain America's side, and Mac is going to be on Iron Man's side.
Yeah, but,
too bad they're not in the movie.
There is one reference that happened, this connection that happened in this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that nobody brought up, was the explosive gel that they mentioned. saying that it was technology that was developed by Howard Stark. That technology was introduced in the first season of Agent Carter.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I'm sure it was. It's been so long since I've seen the first season.
Yeah, there was an episode early in the season, like the first or second episode. I think it was the pilot, where Carter and
that's right. It was the pilot.
Yeah, Carter and Jarvis were trying to hunt down this rogue organization that captured a bunch of this explosive material, and the explosive material blew up and caused an entire building to implode.
Well, that would ruin my day.
Yeah, so that's how I know that it was a reference to a connection to Agent Carter, which I thought was fantastic. I thought, because they've never done a connection to Agent Carter.
Yeah,
never. That's the first time they did it.
It's a connection to Agent Carter, but they really didn't say it to Agent Carter. They just said Stark.
Yeah.
They didn't even say Howard Stark. It was
I know,
just
but
Stark.
it's not the mentioning of Howard Stark or the name dropping. That's not the connection here. It's the actual explosive gel. That's the connection.
Yeah. And I think that my article actually had perfect timing because of the fact that it did come out basically a week before things changed, and they're actually starting to make references. Now, what I would like them to make reference to is, and they don't even have to mention them by name, is be like, all right, so we have all these Inhumans. We got this guy crawling on walls in New York. We should check him out too. Something like that. They don't have to mention a name. Just kind of mention the idea of these characters.
It won't happen.
But
at least not this season.
I really wish they would. I really wish that they would acknowledge the Netflix shows in anything else. And I really wish that the Netflix shows would name drop, which they haven't been doing. But
no, they've
maybe
never.
We'll get there someday when the two ones mesh a little bit better. So let's wrap up because we also have to do the Flash Hangout right after this. I want to thank everyone for watching again. Check us out at geekstheround.com. YouTube.com/GeeksTheRound. Also Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus at GeeksTheRound. Or give us a call at 801-609-4687. That's 801-609-GOTR. Or email us at geekstheround@gmail.com. I want to thank everyone for watching again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.